Welcome to CARICOMP Insider, where high-tech facial recognition meets real-world intelligence.
Nearly all U.S. states, 47 out of 50, have now passed some form of deepfake legislation. And according to compliance tracking data, more than 4 out of 5 of those laws landed in just the last 2 years. That's not a slow build, that's a sprint. If you've ever sent a photo to verify your identity online, or uploaded a selfie to unlock an account, this story touches you directly. Because governments are no longer just asking tech platforms to police fake images. They're asking the people who investigate crimes, build legal cases, and present evidence in court to prove with documentation that they checked whether what they were looking at was real. India's parliament is weighing a proposal to require mandatory identity verification, known as KYC, or Know Your Customer, on every social media, dating, and gaming platform in the country. At the same time, Louisiana became the first U.S. state to build a legal framework specifically around AI-generated evidence, with a law called HB 178 that took effect August 1, 2025. And at the federal level, a proposed Rule of Evidence 707 would apply expert witness standards to any machine-generated evidence presented in court. So the question running through all of this is straightforward. When a court asks whether you verified the image, what's your answer? Start with India. A parliamentary committee recommended that every user on social platforms be verified through government-issued identity documents, not optionally, but as a condition of access. The same proposal calls for platforms to identify, label, and trace AI-generated content using deepfake detection tools. And it recommends expanding law enforcement capacity and creating fast-track courts specifically for crimes like non-consensual intimate images, deepfakes, and impersonation. That's not a suggestion. That's a government building enforcement infrastructure from the ground up. For anyone who's ever had a photo scraped from social media without permission, that infrastructure is the difference between filing a complaint and actually seeing a courtroom. Now shift to the U.S. Louisiana's HB 178 does something specific that matters. It expands the duty of attorneys to exercise what the law calls reasonable diligence in verifying whether evidence is authentic. That phrase, reasonable diligence, is doing a lot of heavy lifting. It means a lawyer can't just present a photograph or a video and assume it's genuine. They have to show they took active steps to check. And that standard doesn't stay inside Louisiana. Legal analysts expect it to migrate across jurisdictions as other states face the same evidentiary questions. For investigators, the implication is direct. If the attorney presenting your evidence has a legal duty to verify it, they're going to demand that you verified it first. For the rest of us, it means the photos and videos we see in courtrooms, the ones that can send someone to prison or set them free, are about to face a much higher bar for being called real. Meanwhile, the proposed Federal Rule of Evidence 707 would treat machine-generated evidence the way courts already treat expert testimony. That means judges would evaluate reliability, methodology, and whether the person offering the evidence followed a defensible process. Authentication used to be an assumption. You present the photo, the court accepts it's a photo. Now, courts have to assess whether that evidence might have been altered in ways that make manipulation almost impossible to spot with the naked eye. That shifts authentication from a formality to an active forensic step. And there's a wrinkle that complicates the whole picture. Courts across the country are striking down broad deepfake statutes on First Amendment grounds. That means the legal landscape is fractured. You can't rely on a deepfake law to do the work for you, because the law might not survive a constitutional challenge. What does survive? Documentation. A clear forensic methodology applied from day one. That's what holds up when the statute underneath it crumbles. There's another layer worth paying attention to. India's KYC proposal would turn platforms into active identity verifiers, creating a traceable digital identity layer across social media. That sounds like a powerful tool for investigators. But recent data breaches tell a different story. Breaches at a credit union, hotels in Italy, and the platform Discord exposed more than 70,000 high-resolution ID scans to criminals. 70,000. Mandatory identity verification doesn't guarantee secure identity. It guarantees more identity data circulating online. Which means investigators can't just lean on a platform's verification and call it a day. They need independent methods, like facial comparison, to confirm that the person in the evidence is who the platform says they are. And for anyone who's handed over a driver's license photo to sign up for an app, those 70,000 leaked ID scans are a reminder of where that image can end up. The instinct is to see mandatory identity verification as the solution to the deepfake problem. It's actually the opposite. Mandatory verification raises the floor, and in doing so, it raises the standard everyone is held to. Once platforms are required to verify identity, not verifying evidence independently looks like negligence, not caution. Governments are moving from asking platforms to catch deepfakes to requiring professionals, investigators, attorneys, anyone who touches digital evidence, to prove they checked. India wants mandatory identity verification on every social platform. Louisiana already requires attorneys to show they took real steps to authenticate evidence. And a proposed federal rule would hold machine-generated evidence to expert witness standards. Whether you build cases for a living or you just uploaded a selfie to verify your age last week, the rules around what counts as real are being rewritten right now. The full story's in the description if you want the deep dive.
Now you know something most people in this industry don't. Use it. And when you're ready to put it to work, caracomp.com. We'll see you tomorrow.